epic music performances to a candid couple date night, and of course, not forgetting rib-cracking comedy. Tonight on My Date With You, I invite you to join me and buckle up for the best of entertainment world. Now, you're watching Friday, and I'm Riley, Lucy Riley. My sign language interpreter tonight for the evening is the very ever beautiful Wairimu Ann, and you can interact with me on social media. That's at TV47KE on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, you can include the hashtag Friday so that I can be able to pick them up. Let's first take a look at the highlights for tonight. Health Ministry pressed to explain how COVID-19 millions was spent as 15 more people test positive for COVID-19, bringing the number to 411. 4 police officers dead, while 5 others are undergoing treatment after angry waters swept their lorry while crossing River Kapsoi in Baringo County. Plus, we will tell you how professional teachers are turning to manual jobs to make ends meet. Good evening, I'm Lucy Riley and welcome to the broadcast. There are more men who have tested COVID-19 positive than women in Kenya, as the total confirmed cases now stand at 411. And as Joash Onsare reports, the increase in the number of confirmed cases in the neighboring Somalia is what prompted the government to partially lock down Mandera County.
50 days since Kenya reported its first COVID-19 case, and the numbers are increasing, with 15 more people testing positive for the dreaded virus in the last 24 hours. The total number of cases now stand at 411. Of the 411 cases, 150 people have so far recovered, which translates to 36.5%. The virus death toll has hit 21, accounting for 5.1% of the total cases. CS Kagwe has stated that the increase in the number of confirmed cases in the neighboring Somalia prompted the government's decision to partially lock down Mandera County.
The area around Somalia is a worrying case, and that's why we have isolated Mandera.
Among the areas that pose a threat of transmission of COVID-19 in Nairobi include Kawangware Estate with 13 cases, Eastleigh 11 cases, South Sea 7 cases, Pipeline and Kilimani recording 6 cases each. In Mombasa County, Mvita constituency has recorded 36 cases so far. Joash Onsare, TV47 Nairobi.
Elsewhere, President Uhuru Kenyatta has assured Kenyans that money allocated to the COVID-19 fight will be accounted for. Now, this comes after a wave of allegations that the Ministry of Health has misappropriated COVID-19 funds. However, Parliamentary Health Committee has summoned Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe to see the light on the expenditure.
His Excellency President's assurance that money allocated to fight COVID-19 was not lost comes at a time when allegations of misappropriation of funds have docked at the Ministry of Health.
Tusitumie hii vita ya corona kama ni wakati wetu wa kupiga siasa duni. Unasikia huko mwingine akisema pesa ya corona haitumiwi vizuri, ingeitakiwa itumiwe namna hii. Jameni, tusicheze na maisha ya Wakenya. Pesa yote ambaye imetumika kupambana na hii jangwa, wakati ukifika, it shall be audited in broad daylight. Kila shilingi, kila dururu ambaye imetumika, Wakenya waweze kujua hii pesa ilitumika kwa njia gani na kusaidia nani.
And as though reading from the same script, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe says an accounting team will give a breakdown on how the funds were used. This after questions were raised over the viral expenditure in a document submitted to the National Assembly's Health Committee.
It is always good to put things in perspective so that when you put a figure, it is a figure, and to ask yourself, is this a figure for a month? Is this a figure for 6 months? You know, how much time are we talking about? If you have got people who are working over a period of 3 months, 4 months, and they are locked up somewhere taking course, They have to eat, they have to be fed, they have to take tea, they have to be there. What are they supposed to do? Are they not supposed to eat at some point? So let's put things in perspective.
The Health Ministry also used 14.4 million shillings to maintain and fuel 30 vehicles used by its officers across the country, translating to 40,000 shillings per vehicle every week.
But we have agreed with the Minister and the PS that on Monday they will come before the committee and explain, because they said there was some error somewhere. So we are waiting to hear, and I know Kenyans are waiting. I'll only ask for patience. Let us not judge before we actually know, but any person who will misuse what has been put aside, whether by donors or by government, for this good cause, I think they will have to carry their own cross.
Linda Alela, TV47.
Right now, of course, that was Mutahi Kagwe shedding the light. I beg your pardon for that. Now, moving on, 4 police officers from the anti-stock theft unit have died after flood waters swept the lorry they were using to cross River Kapsoi in Baringo County. 5 other officers are undergoing treatment at Kabarnet Hospital, while the search for 3 others is ongoing. Rift Valley Police Commander Marcus Ochola, while confirming the incident, said the 12 officers were en route to their workstation from their usual patrols when the incident happened.
Kenya Police and Air Force choppers fly above the banks of Kapsoi River in Baringo County in a rigorous search for 3 police officers from the anti-stock theft unit who have gone missing after the lorry they were traveling in was swept away last evening. Rift Valley Police Commander Marcus Ochola and Baringo County Commissioner Henry Wafula led the search operation.
Because I've just seen where the lorry was washed away. It was almost off the lugger, but unfortunately, and with the support of darkness, they could not see the raging water coming. It caught up with them, pushed the lorry almost 200 meters away. You've seen it, and about 3 officers jumped up and crossed to the other side of the lugger, and the others were carried away by water. So far, what we can say is that we've rescued 5 that are in good shape. They are in the hospital. We have also recovered 3 more bodies, and as I speak with you right now, I've been told there's another body that has been sighted somewhere.
Sasa hawa ni vijana wetu, jana walikuwa wanatoka mambo ya briefing yetu ya kawaida. Tuna mipango yetu tunafanya hapa Baringo ambayo tunataka kujaribu kuleta usalama vile tumejaribu hii miaka 2 na imepita. Kwa hivyo sasa, kwa bahati mbaya, hawa watoto wetu walikuwa wanavuka, maji yakatoka, tumekuwa na mvua nyingi area hii janga likatokea. Nasema pole. Vile mnavyoona, serikali nimemobilize kama chairman na serikali yetu na serikali kuu na watu wote, tumeleta all the formations tuje tufanye ya kwamba tutafute hawa watoto wetu ambao walinusurika na hiki.
The 3 missing police officers were among 12 officers who were in the lorry when the incident happened last night. 3 others died on the spot, and their bodies have since been recovered and identified. The locals here claim occupants of this lorry are also yet to be located, but Rift Valley Police Commander Ochola dismisses the claims.
So far, what we can say is that we've rescued 5 that are in good shape. They are in the hospital. We have also recovered 3 more bodies, and as I speak with you right now, I've been told there's another body that has been sighted somewhere. We've sent a vehicle and several officers to go and confirm whether that is one of the body we are looking for.
Kazi na walikuwa na kuja kambi hapa huko Chemoe. So nasikitika sana, nasema pole kwa kikosi chote na kwa hata kwa jamii ya wale wameathiriwa na kwa serikali nzima.
A mudslide in West Pokot claimed the lives of 2 police officers in Chesugon 2 weeks ago. Tracy Mokami, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you very much for that story, Andreen Kilemi. Now, elsewhere, every 1st of May, Kenyans mark Labor Day, an annual holiday to celebrate the achievements of workers in the country. This year, however, there is pretty much nothing to celebrate for Robert Meshach and Agnes, who are teachers by profession. And as our reporter Andreen Kilemi narrates, the three have now been forced to do manual jobs to earn a living since the indefinite closure of schools following the spread of coronavirus.
It is dawn in Dandora and Robert Okello is getting ready to leave his house. Robert is a teacher by profession and has taught for the last decade. Today he wakes up not armed with a textbook and a chalk. Rather, he is hopeful that somehow, he will come back home with a meal. Today he is lucky enough. At least, he can do carpentry at one of the stalls in the busy Dandora town. This has now become his new normal.
Nimekuwa nikiamka asubuhi na mapema na ujui unaenda wapi. Wewe unaamka tu kama mwalimu na ujui ni wapi unaelekea. Ambapo hata sasa hivi mkiniona hapa nimeingia kazi ya mbao. Saa zingine nikiamka nikipata maeneo ya mjengo mimi naweza ingia pale nijifundishe kazi ya rangi.
From a stable teaching job, he can hardly bet on the income from his new job. What he gets from here wholly depends on what the main carpenter makes for the day.
Kwa siku naweza enda na 300 ama 200 ambaye kwa maisha Nairobi hiyo si pesa ambaye inaweza saidia mtu kujimudu kimaisha.
Apart from just being a teacher, Robert is also an evangelist, offering from philanthropic believers who would have sustained him. But in what seems like a double loss of income, the ban on church gathering has also ruled out the prospect of depending on the church.
Andiko inasema wale watumishi wa Mungu wakule kupitia kwa ile kazi ambao wanafanya. Makanisa pia imefungwa.
It is not any different for Meshach, a director at Badili Educational Center. For him too, life has completely changed.
Ratiba yangu ni kama imebadilika kiasi cha kwamba hata siwezi sema imebadilika vipi kwa sababu haina utaratibu.
Since the outbreak of coronavirus, Meshach has not been able to secure a specific place to earn a living. More often than not, he visits his school just to check if everything is in order. You can actually tell his affinity for teaching. Sometimes he prefers to stay home and keep safe.
Nimekuwa na rafiki yangu ambaye anafanya kazi ya motor rewinding. Wakati mwingine naenda naye katika hiyo shughuli. Ijapokuwa sijui lakini nitaiona vile anafanya, ananiambia niletee hii nipelekee pale. Sasa unajua sasa hapo sina ujuzi wowote. Mimi kile nimeambiwa ndiyo nitatenda.
It is equally the same for Agnes Okoth, a teacher by profession. However, she is now forced to move door to door to wash clothes for other families, at least to afford her daily bread. She is not lucky enough today. We find her at her house with her 8 children in the sitting room. These are too many mouths to feed. She has little more than hope to feed them.
Saizi ya Mungu nipata hapa kama ningepata. Sasa ni kitu naenda, ukipata ndio unafanya. Ukikosa unarudi. Juu unajua hata ukifulia mtu hata kupatia pesa nyingine kubwa. Pengine itakuwa 200. Na hiyo 200 na watoto huwezi kula in a day.
As the country marks Labor Day this year, most teachers have been forced to look for alternative means to make ends meet. Andreen Kilemi, TV47, Nairobi.
Now moving on, Kenya joined the world in marking the International Labour Day amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and unlike the previous Labour celebrations which were held at Uhuru Park Gardens, the event was held at State House Nairobi, and only a few leaders were in attendance, including President Uhuru Kenyatta, Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui and COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli, all of them urging Kenyans to follow government measures to curb the spread of COVID-19.
It was a Labor Day fete like no other. The day was just marked with very little celebrations, if any. The setting was not the usual Uhuru Park grounds with thousands in attendance. This time the venue was State House Nairobi and only a handful leaders attended. Thanks to COVID-19 pandemic.
Other Kenyans in different parts of the country just went about their business, albeit cautiously. In the light of fast-spreading COVID-19, many stayed at home. On his address to the nation at State House, Nairobi, President Uhuru Kenyatta urged leaders not to politicize the COVID-19 pandemic and more so the budget set aside to fight the virus, saying that every coin in the kitty will be accounted for.
Hiyo itatuhitaji sisi wote. Na ndipo naendelea pia kusema tusitumie hii vita ya corona kama ni wakati wetu wa kupiga siasa duni. Unasikia huko mwingine akisema pesa ya corona haitumiwi vizuri, ingetakiwa itumiwe namna hii. Jameni, tusicheze na maisha ya Wakenya. Pesa yote ambayo imetumika kupambana na hii jangwa, wakati ukifika, it shall be audited in broad daylight.
However, the president drums support on local industries, calling upon Kenyans to support local manufacturers and local content during this pandemic. KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli now wants the president to consider tax exemptions to employees earning between 24,000 shillings and 100,000 shillings as part of cushioning them during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Providing essential services, doctors, nurses, and supervisors, those who are on supervisory grades, both in the agricultural sector, the economic, commercial sector, they earn up to 100,000 members and they are members. So we would like you as well to exempt them from, for the time being, because they are the ones who will require to rebuild our economy at the end.
And politics found its way in today's hushed labor celebrations. The KOTU boss pushing for constitutional amendments to allow expansion of government as a way of taming politically instigated violence.
As KOTU, that is why I, as Atwoli, I am committed, Your Excellency, to support you on this initiative of building bridges. We are glad that this agenda was finally mooted out of the famous handshake and duped building bridges initiative that aims at relooking at our constitution afresh.
Elizabeth Mutiko, TV47 Nairobi.
Right, now moving on, Labor Day is all about celebrating workers in the country and worldwide. Comparing to previous Labor Days, most low-income earners have nothing to celebrate. According to Dennis Maina, who's a worker from Kiambu County, the economy has changed, making life more difficult since most sectors have closed down.
It's an early morning and we arrive at Gatongora village in Kiambu County. Here, we are welcomed at Dennis Maina's home. Dennis is a boda boda operator and we find him taking breakfast, ready to start his day. He's a diploma graduate in masonry and has practiced for 3 years before seeking an alternative in boda boda operation. He's among the 130,000 people who have lost their jobs due to the coronavirus pandemic. In other days, you'll find him at a construction site, but today he's on the engine.
Kazi hakuna kwa sababu mwenye anakuajiri akubali uende kwake kwa sababu anashuku mahali umetoka, labda umepatana na watu wengi, alafu tena hawezi kubali uwafanyie kazi kwao. Kwa kuwa hiyo pesa ambao walikuwa labda wametarajia wataweka nazo kazi, labda imekuwa kila mtu sasa yuko kazi, watu wako nyumbani. Sasa inakuwa ngumu, hakuna mtu anakupatia kazi.
He says his new alternative does not pay him enough to sustain himself.
Ile place tulikuwa tunabeba na kiwango kama 50 bob, sasa inabidi tupandishe kwa sababu ya hakuna watu. Lakini wote ni kama, yani kazi iko chini, hakuna vile hata wanaweza kubali. Inabidi tu, yani tujikaze tu.
The nationwide curfew, which was imposed to restrict the movement of people from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m., has affected him too. There is no one to transport.
Kama kungekuwa na uwezekano curfew inaanza kitu saa 3, hiyo ingekuwa sawa. At least mtu anaweza kuwa amepeleka watu nyumbani.
Just like any other laborer in the country, Dennis wants the government to put efforts so as to cushion low-income earners.
Kwa saa hii ile kitu tunafanya, tunabeba mahali mbali na pesa kidogo, mafuta mingi. Inabidi tu watu punguzie tu gharama ya mafuta.
But till then, Dennis, like many others, will have to bear the economic brand of COVID-19. Lydia Gashomo, TV47.
Thank you very much for that story, Lydia Gashomu. Now, even after the government says restaurants will be allowed to reopen, albeit under strict measures centered on social distancing, some restaurants are grappling with customers not being fully convinced that it is safe to visit their favorite hangout spots. Leangari made a visit to one of the popular joints in the New Muthaiga and has filed the following report.
The government say that restaurants will reopen in the country, but under strict measures. We are right now in the New Muthaiga, where one of the popular lounges is set to reopen.
At the doors of many restaurants, a temperature check is now a must. It is not different at the Claret Lounge.
You have to have your staff tested before you actually open. The city government has to come in, give you licenses again, check the places, the premises, if it complies with everything that is set under the COVID-19 guidelines of operation. Yeah.
The government had ordered the closure of restaurants and eateries in a bid to flatten the COVID-19 curve. Edith, one of the managers at Claret Lounge, says that order has affected business. She was forced to relieve 7 of her employees. Only a few have resumed. Mwamba is one of the few who have resumed work.
From Monday, it was half full, but from Friday and Saturday, it was usually full. It was so full up to where you can't get a seat.
The entire business had been closed down, with no deliveries being made. The managers here had resorted to digging into their personal pockets and savings from their other businesses to ensure this one does not collapse. However, things are gradually set to change, with a few customers trickling in today on their fast reopen.
There's that fear because, one, you don't know who you are meeting. But what I can say for now is that I appreciate there is not much. The number of people around is few.
Today the country marks Labor Day. For Edith, this is often a holiday characterized by high customer turn-up at the restaurant. But this time round, business is definitely not as usual.
It's a different holiday from the ones we're used to, but I know things will be better with time.
Even as eateries reopen under strict measures, questions have emerged on how effective the measures by the government will be, given the history of what seems like weak public inspection and enforcement witnessed during outbreaks. What also remains unclear is whether small eateries will afford the cost of testing each worker for the dreaded virus. Leangari for TV47.
Thank you very much for that story, Leangari. Now, we're about to take a short break, but before we do, here's what's still to come. I have online with me Flaco, and I think he's already hopped on. Hi, Flaco, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome. Awesome. It's really good to have you on, and thank you for joining us. How are you keeping up with the COVID situation, and how generally are you doing? Today's Labor Day, the first day of the month.
Generally good. I'm just quarantined. It's just been the same old routine. I'm just staying indoors, staying home, staying safe.
Yeah, and creating good content, of course. It's so nice to hear you talking like this. I'm so used to listening to how you do your, the way you talk and sound on comedy. Mama Otis, Aha, now that's the Flaco we know. All right, then. It's time to take a short break, but as we take this break, take a look at what Flaco is all about.
Good evening, everybody. In Kamanawa, we have Calligraph Jones in studio today to talk about the COVID-19. Calligraph Jones, how are you? You're ready now. I don't know. That's why I asked.
Holla. Are we here to Shanganya Corona?
No, we are here to talk about it.
That is Shanganya. That doesn't matter because COVID-19 can never rap faster than the LG-19. 60.
Okay. Nilitaka tu kujua wasanii mna survive aje.
Na bado jam irrelevant. Everybody wanna collab better than faster.
But
Niko na ka impress na ka rush ko bunch with just friends but I go for my damn pleasure. You rate the block, have them showers do. I box Corona When I'm seated in the stool, your mind is loud. I'm getting misunderstood.
Okay, give us a freestyle then.
Sissy, I can't do that right now.
What? But you were just...
I said I can't do that right now.
Mount Kenya University takes pride in being an academic giant with some of the best infrastructure, imparting knowledge to the best brains in the country and the region. Our members of faculty are keen to deliver market-driven programs in science and humanities with a keen focus on linkages with relevant organizations. We admit both self-sponsored and government-sponsored students under the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
For more inquiries, please email ads@tv47.co.ke or simply call us on 0748 205 604.
Ni jukwaa linalowapa vijana nafasi ya kuchangia kwa mada inayowaathiri.
Vijana tukishikana we can bring a revolution. Tunaweza geuza serikali sahihi, lakini serikali yenyewe haiwezi kubali.
Tunazungumza kuhusu ajira, afya, uongozi, ukuzaji wa talanta pamoja na masuala ibuka katika jamii. Ni mazungumzo bora inayofungua mlango wa suluhisho kwa masuala tata miongoni mwa vijana. Ungana nami Paul Kirubi kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 12 hadi saa 1 jioni katika kipindi cha Vijana Mashinani. Wakati wetu ni sasa.
Welcome back. Now let's get into entertainment, and I'm really happy that you could join us. In case you're just joining us tonight, the hashtag is Fridays, and right now I've got Flacco in the building. Flacco, hey.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm great. And you, what's up?
Amazing. Thank you again for joining us. I just want to read some quick comments because some of these comments are directed to you on Facebook.
Okay.
Guys, love you all here. Someone says, pass my greetings to Flaco Raz to represent Watawa Diaspora 125/6. That's Hillary. Yo. And so many more on Twitter. But because of time, now, we just want to find out, first of all, Flaco, I was doing a bit of research beforehand and I came across some of the tabloids, and you say that God actually proved to you that, this is the industry that you should have been in and this is what you should have been doing. So could you share some of the experiences that showed you for sure, I should have been a comedian and this is what I need to be doing? Could you share some of those experiences?
First of all, let me say I started by doing music. Yeah. And I know my music is not bad, but there's so much in Kenya. The scene is so competitive where I had now to think like, what else can I do? And I've been watching Vines and learning a lot of tutorials from YouTube, watching a lot of Vines from YouTube. So I just decided to try and see how it goes. And when I tried, it just blew up. It didn't take long. So the fact that it didn't take long, that proved to me that, this is where you're supposed to be. And I thank God.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So listen, you've talked about singing and I've actually listened to some of your songs. What's your favorite song at the moment?
My favorite song by me or my favorite song by...
perhaps even by yourself,
I love Stress Mingi, the first song I released.
Yeah.
All
right, could you sing us a quick line, 30 seconds?
You me jump cause you check my phone. Why I need to be but me my friends on. Hey, I'm all over you but you still don't see that. Can you imagine? Ukiniacha conda stress. You just don't know. Check it out on YouTube. I love that song. It's my debut song, and
awesome. Listen, a quick one, do you make any money from your music and then now from your comedy? And how exactly are you making money from these two platforms?
Currently, let me say I'm making money from comedy. But I can't stop doing music because, you never know, and it's where I started. So I can't let, comedy and music go hand in hand. So I make money majorly from comedy. Music, bado.
All right, so tell me about developing these 4 characters. I mean, yo, Mama Otis, Baba Otis, yani Otis, na sijui nani mwingine ni Bakari ama nani?
Bakari kwa master, the uncle, yes.
Yeah, the uncle. So now tell me about developing these 4 characters. At what point did you decide you'd start with maybe 2 characters and spin it all the way to 4?
I actually didn't know it was going to end up now 4 characters, but I actually started as Mama Otis and Baba Otis, and I didn't know that Mama Otis and Otis, and I didn't know that Baba Otis would come somewhere on the way. So it's fans who actually helped me develop, Mama Otis, we feel like there should be a dad figure, and then there should be an uncle, and then it continues and continues. Soon there'll be a sister, and then there'll be a grandfather, and then it's just one big family. So it's inspired by people. And I also challenge myself a lot.
Yeah. Can you just talk about how you actually now shoot these characters? I mean, do you first play one role all the way to the end and then I'll play the second one? I don't know. How does it really work when you're creating such content?
First of all, I have to script very detailed, very, very detailed, petty detailed. First, that is scripting. Then I do the mom character. Through till I finish, then I come to Otis. Through till I finish, then I come to the other characters. I have to do one character and finish first. Then when it comes to the editing, it's just mixing. According to how I've edited. Scripted, I mean.
And you talk about each and every single one of those characters. What is your inspiration? I mean, you talk about Mama Otis being very close to how your mom, you realize how your mom and most moms in Kenya actually behave. And that was quite funny because, that's quite true. But talk to me about the inspiration behind the other characters.
Baba Otis' character... Okay, you know about Mama Otis, right?
Yes. Of course, you can still share.
Yeah. Okay, Mama Otis is basically my mom, and I've mixed it with a little bit of my aunt. I've picked different characters from different members of my family who are actually women. And when you fuse them, actually, it ends up to form one character, and every mom has an aspect. So I guess that's why people relate with it a lot. And then the dad, you just know how most dads are like that. And if they're not like that, there's something close to that. So I guess people really relate to Baba Otis a lot like that. And Otis is like always the victim. I mean, it represents all of us because we find ourselves in that situation, either with our mom or our dad. So I guess that's why it's relatable generally like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from reality.
Right. Listen, does online comedy pay? And if it does, how exactly do you monetize that?
Currently, let me say, I majorly personally earn from ads, but it really takes a long time. You really have to prove yourself over and over and over again. It might really take a long time. Some people, like if you're not strong at heart, you might give up somewhere on the way. Yeah. But let me say, just it pays, and there are platforms that come where you can learn, where you can earn online. And I guess there are platforms that are still coming up. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say the platforms there, but
yeah,
you can actually earn online.
Yeah. Tabloids say that, you say that you got snubbed a lot by celebrities, especially when you're getting started. So maybe now you can spill the beans and tell us how that experience was, and maybe you can name a few names there.
You want me to name names?
But it's not a must,
but
of
it
course.
Feels so, it feels so terrible, and it was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
It was a great challenge for me, and it challenged me to find a way where I can. It made me so creative. Can I just say the steps?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So celebrities decided to ignore my DMs. So this is what I decided to do. I decided to do celebrity impressions to get their attention, because I actually wanted to market Mama Otis, and I had actually written how I'm going to do that. But I first started off by doing celebrity impressions so that I get their attention, and they market me like that through their fans. And I gained the attention of all their fans when I started doing Mama Otis. And all the fans, the attention shifted now to the family. So it was that strategic, like money is.
Yeah. All right, that's very cunning and sneaky, But which is your favorite? One of your skits. Which one can you say that you did this one and it made you laugh the most? You literally cracked your ribs, and it's the best one.
I literally love the skit, curfew that I did, Mama Otis and Baba Otis being chased back to the house. I watched it to date. I still love it so much. It was so dramatic.
Yeah. So do you have any message that, for young people that's positive and encouraging them to use and tap into social media and the internet, and especially to develop their creativity?
Yeah. Digital is lately really taking over. So it's really a great opportunity for people to showcase whatever talent they have. And this is the time that it doesn't matter what you have. You just start from wherever you have, even if it's a very simple phone. So I keep saying this over and over again, because it's how I started. I didn't start with the phone I'm using right now. I started with a really simple phone. So just use whatever you have, and don't really hope for somebody else to help you. It is only you who can help yourself, because nowadays online has taken over such that you can actually come up by gaining people's attention without actually trying to DM celebrities or Saidi and whatnot.
And so
celebrities
Yes. Sorry, Flacco, to cut you short. I mean, it's definitely good listening to you. But I want you to throw in here a quick 30-second exclusive skit, something that's really funny. Top of your head for TV47.
Yeah, you want me to throw a skit right now?
Yeah, something, of course, off the top of your head, something you can do. Maybe Mama Otis, Baba Otis.
Kijana. Yes, nimesikisa kwamba kuna msichana anakuja hapa. Your mother has told me that there is a girl who normally comes here.
Ni ukweli. Huyu mtoto sikiza mikomo. Kora ile mbaya. Otis.
Hebu ambia babako ile kitu unafanyanga. Kijana, can you speak very fast?
That was just something really random. It's not even scripted. But
oh my goodness, Flaco, it's always such a pleasure watching you and listening to you. And of course, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And of course, all the viewers and fans who love your content can always follow you for more of that. And so, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have to take a short break for now. Of course, you can continue to interact with me on social media. That's with the hashtag Friday. You can also send in a text message in 22047. Of course, I'll read them, and on our social media pages. Don't touch that dial, because when we come back, of course, it's time for a date.
Since late last year, the coronavirus COVID-19 has emerged as a serious healthcare threat. This is an infection that has gone global and no one has been spared. The government, through the Ministry of Health, has put in measures to keep Kenyans safe against COVID-19, which is currently rampant around the world, with new confirmed infections and death cases daily. Such sanitization and screening of visitors at this border post and across every entry point in the country is very vital in preventing the spread of the disease in the country.
I'm very happy about the screenings that are going on in Tanzania and Kenya. I think it's very proactive that you're thinking about stopping it at the border so that it does not spread.
It is scary that a single cough here can lead to an outbreak of epic proportions. In order to prevent that, the government has instituted measures to keep Kenyans safe.
The facility has all the equipments you need, from handling a basic patient up to ICU setting.
However, you also have a role to play in preventing spread of infections.
Citizen responsibility is the key to the success of this initiative and these measures. Let's all do what we have to do individually. And this is how we are going to defeat this disease.
It's just our general hygiene, okay? And that now means at workplaces, we should ensure that our work surfaces are clean.
Well, let's ensure that nimefanya proper sanitation ya mikono. Every time na board matatu, lazima ni sanitize mikono.
We have faced many severe challenges as a nation, and we have always found a way to rise above them. COVID-19 is no different, and we will overcome the pandemic. Stop coronavirus. Follow all directives from the Ministry of Health. Wash your hands properly.
And of course, that's DJ Mura, who will be entertaining us throughout the show. I absolutely love the music, and it's Friday and it's a new month, and of course we have to usher in the weekend in style. Now it's around about that time where we have a couple joining us for this segment, and I'm very pleased to have Simon and Sarah Kabu. The Kabus are now joining us from their lovely home. Good evening, guys. How are you all doing?
Good evening. Good evening, Lucy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's actually a pleasure to see you. You look really good. How are you holding up during these COVID times?
It's I don't know what to say, but I think it's time to rest and also time to bond, as we also enjoy the fruits of our labor, because we just labor without enjoying. But of course, it's scary, business-wise, because it has not happened to us before. But since we are not the only people affected, it's a global thing. We know that it will come to pass soon. Right. I think health-wise we are good. Business-wise, we might be affected because tourism is what has been affected most. It has been hit the most, but this is a time, I think, to rejuvenate. It's a time. It has taught us a lot of things, including the social distancing,
right?
Hygiene, all that. Which before, I think we didn't know that we can stick for over a month plus at home without traveling. Even outside Nairobi or something. Even if it's to the office.
That's very interesting. I mean, what are you doing to keep fit, to keep yourselves busy, to, pass time? What are you actually doing during this time as a couple?
I have been, this is become like, I don't know whether it's a cook or a chef. I have learned a lot, and I am, if you check our social media, you can see me cooking. Actually, this time we've not bought bread. Yani, we are baking our own bread, so that is so nice. The other day I bought bread and I was like, no, as in, you mean this is what we were eating and this is what we were missing out? So we are eating fresh food made by ourselves, something that has not happened in a long time. Yeah, so, and of course, keeping fit.
Yeah.
So I had because of jogging. I have to push to go extra mile. We are doing quite jogging within the compound and within the estate. Every day. Apart from that, I have become a chef. She has become a kinyozi.
I
don't need to do a break. My daughter. Yes, and apart from that, I think we're able to bond in a different way. I have become a teacher to train my son, including in training our son, doing like homeschooling now. It's becoming quite because now they're not going to school.
Yeah, that's quite lovely. Yes.
And apart of that, sorry, it's okay. We normally have meetings with our team on Zoom or Skype, just to discuss what is happening, to give, to tell them the way forward, what is happening. Because ideally we have closed our offices physically, but we are still working from home, handling our clients, all that online.
Right. Now, I want to top of your head, I want to ask you both a couple of questions, and you just have to answer them within the shortest time possible. Okay. Which has been your top 3 favorite destination and why? So name your couples, your of course your spouses, top 3 destinations. I don't know if you share the same top 3 destinations, of course, but which one did you love the most? Which 3 did you love the most and why?
Dubai. Both of us is Dubai. Okay. Dubai, Mauritius, and back home, Mombasa.
Amazing. And why so? Why those 3 destinations?
Sarah, you can say it, right? Those were yours. Which are yours? Of course, Dubai will always be number 1. Then I also loved Santorini a lot because of the romantic part of the island. It's very, very romantic. Then London.
I like the culture, or is it the authenticity of the British people? So it connects with our country. So I really love
the Uzungu.
It's the real Uzungu there. So I really love about London.
Yes. Yeah. First, one of the reasons I love Dubai, it's because of it has a wow effect, a wow factor.
Yeah.
If you travel to Dubai today and you travel after 3 years or after a year, where it was some sad, you'll meet some buildings and something that wows you.
Yeah, so it's
Dubai
developing all the time. Yeah.
Yes, and again the cost relatively not affordable.
And there's so much. I think there's nothing you can't find in Dubai.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you short. I think when you travel, you get to have so many experiences to share and so many amazing things. But more on that experience, perhaps you can share your spouse's favorite meal.
Okay, Sarah, which is my...
when we go out dining, he loves the shrimps or prawns, or the jumbo prawns. Are they called tiger prawns?
No, jumbo.
But in the house, he loves njahi.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about, of course, Simon?
Sarah? That fish is called what?
The salmon.
Yes, the salmon. Everywhere we go, she has to take a salmon.
Yes.
And in the house, we both take
Jahi, not mine.
Not Jahi. She loves top.
Yes. All right. What keeps the relationship going? I mean, what is the secret to such a happy and successful relationship like yours?
We would not say that we are perfect. So we are just like any other couple, going through the same challenges, only that maybe we decide, we cannot bring our things here, only we decide to show the good part of the marriage. But I still feel that what has kept us going is that we are friends. So above all, above the business, even now that we are not doing business, we are still friends. Even when we are home, like there's so much to see and do. Even when one of us has to go and attend to maybe an assignment out there, you find the other one is stranded at home. So I think friendship is what has kept us going.
And again, I think what we have agreed is that we have a goal to focus, and we know that we are husband and wife, and hatuachani. The objective is that we are there to stay together. Now, if a challenge comes, it's our responsibility to make sure that we look at that challenge and be able to move on, because we have that focus and that vision which we have to achieve. And
then also so we have what we have decided is to enjoy our stay, because right now we are home. What we are trying to do is to create as many memories as possible, recording them, so that in future 10 years from now, we'll be looking back at the lockdown. So we value and treasure memories.
Yes.
So we like making memories. So out of that, if we have to spend this evening together, it better be good,
Right.
Wakati ananibon, I don't want boring life, so stay away.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's never a dull moment.
It's okay. I think we complement each other.
Right.
In all, what you do. She has her strong points, which I respect and I appreciate. She has her weaker points, weaker points, which I normally correct her about. The same way applies to her. If she thinks that this is not the right thing, she'll be able to communicate to me and tell me, he seems Zuri. Then from there, I will look at it and And it doesn't mean because I'm a man I cannot be corrected.
Yeah,
I am corrected.
And you accept the correction. That's quite admirable, actually. And because of time, perhaps I can just throw in this last question, or maybe just, as we come to the end of this, for a young couple, when is the best time to settle for marriage, and what are your plans beyond COVID-19 as a couple, of course, and for your business?
For a young couple, I think it's first good to enjoy your singlehood, as in those girls who meet their first boyfriend and then you get married. Sometimes it can be stressful, like where you keep feeling like you didn't make the right decision. So it's good to, after you finish university, it's good to go out there, enjoy life. Then now at around 28.
Sample. You mean to sample?
No, I mean to enjoy life.
Okay.
Yeah, so that now when you settle, there's nothing you'll look back to. So you now focus on your family. So both of us got married at around 30. So by that time, you are done with having fun, and you are now so ready to settle down. But when you marry when you're too young, you find that you're in a confused life. You're not sure whether to be in the marriage or not. Right. You see, for us, we want to be there, and there's no other option.
Right.
I think what Sarah is trying to say is that when you are too young, when you got to your first relationship, that person you are in that relationship, you thought there is no other better person than that. But as you progress, you have the first, the second, and the third, however many you will have, you will find they become better with time. And as you grow and mature, you find that now you're able to make a rational decision of the right person, whatever you are calling right. It is that making that decision, because kama ni sura unaangalia, sura will always be better suras than whatever you are looking for.
Yes.
You see, as you mature.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very sorry to cut you short, but thank you very much. And unfortunately, our time right now is over. And thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we need more time, of course, when it comes to matters, relationship and dating. But now let's take a look quite briefly at the celebrity news this week before we end our show. Right now, Diamond Platnumz claimed baby mama Hamisa Mobeto reached out to him after accepting the offer to feature in the hit song Dodo by Ali Kiba. It's a well-known fact that Diamond has been Ali Kiba's nemesis for the longest time. Of course, Platnumz says that Mobeto informed him of the decision in order to avoid misunderstandings. The song's video was shot in Zanzibar by director Rockshots, while its audio was produced by Yogo Beats. Now, moving on, Platnumz was able to reunite with his kids early this week via a video call that he later shared a snippet of on Instagram. In the video, Tiffany, Nilan, and Nilan are seen to be talking to their daddy, who promised that they will link up with him. This makes it the first time Diamond is making contact with his children since July last year, when his three kids, that's Dylan, Nilan, and Tiffany, met for the very first time via video call. Right, and finally, WCB President Simba disclosed that he is ready to give out his newly acquired hotel to be used as a hospital or quarantine facility by the government for coronavirus patients in Tanzania. This is just after he offered to pay 3 months' rent for 500 families in Tanzania as a way of cushioning them for their financial effects of COVID-19. Konde Boy's manager Mkubwa Fella pointed out that despite his artist living in a rented house, the singer owns more than 11 houses and he is in the process of building his dream home. Right now, so it's time to cross over to our Bengatronics acoustic team on the other side, and let's listen to some of the beautiful and amazing music that they have lined up for us tonight.
Chobina no manunu. Chobina no manunu. Chobina no manana. Hazalay turu. Chobina no manana. Malicho. Chobina manana. Malicho. Chobine no manana, chobine no manana, manajum. Chobine no manana, manajum. Chobine no manana. Do 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 do.
That's absolutely amazing and so beautiful. Unfortunately, that's the only time I could have with you for tonight. And of course, next time we'll be bringing you more entertainment, more fun-packed show. And of course, you can continue to interact with us and keep the conversation going. That's on Facebook and Twitter and IG on our pages at TV47KE, or myself directly. That's at Lucy_Riley. Thank you very much for the team that put this together. That's Leangari and Abdallah Abubakar. And of course, have yourself a beautiful evening. Up next is a clubbing experience with Marcus Garvey, and I'm sure you're gonna love that too. So tomorrow, of course, we also have Bomba La Sana from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. That's the full packed entertainment energy that you need to keep you going for the weekend. So enjoy your night. And we're going over back to the DJ. That's John Udulele and DJ Mura. Have yourself a good night.